This is the YouTube edition of my book, A Course in Miracles Workbook Nuggets, which is a study aid for the course's workbook for students. I'll begin by reading my book's commentary on today's lesson over a visual of the book's text. I'll then return with some further thoughts on the lesson, which are only included in this YouTube edition of my book. Today's lesson is part of a 10-lesson group, which goes from lesson 251 through lesson 260, each of which relates to sin as understood in the course. I'll be repeating the same introduction for each of lessons 251 through 260, so you can skip past this introduction in the future if you like. Timestamps taking you directly to today's Workbook Nuggets commentary and my further comments are provided in the description below. In the section entitled, What is Sin?, which precedes these 10 lessons, we are told that sin is insanity and that there is no sin. The point here is that sin is part of the illusion, a very important and cunning part. If you escape the illusion, you escape its many so-called sins as well. There can be no sin in the love and oneness that we are being trained to see. Obsessing over the so-called sins of yourself and others only keeps you here in the illusion. Don't take the bait. Wake from the illusion and be free. As the introduction to these 10 lessons, all dealing with sin, tells us, quote, "The Son of God made clay, he has become a body, prey to evil and to guilt, with but a little life that ends in death. But all the while, his Father shines on him and loves him with an everlasting love, which his pretenses cannot change at all." End quote. Today's lesson from my book and my further thoughts, which are contained only in this YouTube edition of the book, follow. A link to the book on Amazon.com is provided below. Lesson number 257, September 14. Let me remember what my purpose is. The Course tells us that the world is an illusion, but it is a strong and persistent one. Call the world an illusion, or as I prefer, a relative reality, but in any case, it clearly demands our attention. So, attend to it, but do so with the mind of Christ rather than the ego. Perhaps the response or action will be precisely the same. However, doing it, quotes, in God's name, that is, in the spirit of oneness and love, will make all the difference. The title of today's lesson is, Let Me Remember What My Purpose Is. In our ordinary day-to-day world, we have many purposes, and they are endlessly changing. That is fine for getting by in the world, but remember, the focus of the Course is not the illusion, but the reality beneath. The focus of the Course is your salvation, not your day-to-day life. And as we are told many times in different ways, your purpose or function in God's plan for salvation is forgiveness. So today's lesson is reminding us not to get lost in our daily and worldly tasks. Of course, we should perform them, but we should not get lost in them. We should always remember that our underlying and more fundamental purpose is forgiveness. This means that as we interact with others, we should always remember to see the one self, the child of God, beneath the surface appearance of the body standing before us. Seeing the light and reality beneath, that is, forgiving our brother, no matter how difficult that may be, no matter what sins we believe he has committed, is our function or purpose in God's plan for salvation. Try it. See the child of God in everyone you meet. As the lesson tells us, let me remember what my purpose is. Today, let this be your constant prayer.